Hello and welcome to another Ask Cheeky. I'm going to tell you 3 things you can do to stand out to hiring managers and recruiters so that you're hired over other job candidates. This question comes from Jason Smith and he says, how can I stand out from other job candidates? I recently went to an event. I gave a talk to a room full of PhDs. At the end of it, there was a recruiter that was at this event. It was a larger conference. And I asked the recruiter, I said, what helps you zero in on one PhD job candidate over another? What helps one candidate stand out over others? They said, really, there's 3 things. The first one is having a website. Very simple. This one thing will help you stand out for a variety of reasons. You could put your resume on your website. You can put your values, maybe a mission statement, maybe your professional summary reworked to talk about the types of careers that you want. There's a lot of things you can put on a website, but why it helps you stand out is because you are going to be Googled right away when a hiring manager or recruiter finds out about you. So the first step in the job search process for a PhD level job is normally not uploading a resume, believe it or not. If you've been uploading a lot of resumes and not hearing back, this is going to ring true for you. The first step is usually getting a referral, having an informational interview, talking to somebody, maybe reaching out to a recruiter or hiring manager directly, having a phone screen or a conversation, or again, reaching out. That's the first step. What happens when you reach out? What happens when a hiring manager or recruiter has you referred to them? They're going to Google you. What's going to come up? What comes up to the top? If you have a website and they Google your name and the URL of your website is your name, that's going to come up to the very top. It just is, it's impressive. It means that you're going the extra mile. Rather than just having a LinkedIn profile, you're actually having a website with your resume on it, maybe some other things that are relevant to the types of jobs that you want. Okay, it's very easy to do this. You can set up a free word site with WordPress. There's other types of free sites, square.com you can use. There's a lot of different free ways to do this, but having a website will differentiate you. Number 2, LinkedIn. Having a lot of connections on LinkedIn is a differentiator, and it helps you come up to the top of the search results when hiring managers and recruiters search for you. So the recruiter I talked to said, look, you need to have 500 or more connections. You just have to. And if you get above that 500 mark, then you're automatically in the top 24%. Studies show you're in the top 24% of the most connected people on LinkedIn if you're between 500 and 999 connections. Now, if you have over 2,000 connections, you're in the top 4%. So networking with people on LinkedIn, spending time connecting, not spamming people, not just clicking the connect button over and over, but reaching out, following the scripts that we have at Cheeky Scientist. If you Google our ebook, 40 networking scripts for PhDs, you can download that for free. Just Google Cheeky Scientist 40 networking scripts for PhDs, and you can get that for free. Reach out, start connecting on LinkedIn, get over 500. Again, LinkedIn's algorithm is very smart. It knows who's more connected. And when a recruiter or hiring manager is searching for a job candidate, the most connected candidates rise to the top. Finally, go to networking events that aren't just for PhDs. This recruiter said, look, I don't just hang out at PhD networking events or job fairs. In fact, I go to much other higher level, different types of events above those. I don't spend a lot of time at job fairs, believe it or not. I don't spend a lot of time at PhD conferences. Right? So as a PhD coming from academia, you're likely going to a lot of very technical academic conferences. Recruiters and hiring managers aren't going there. Even at job fairs, they're not going there many times to look for the highest level PhD job candidates. Instead, they're going to different types of networking events, business networking events, entrepreneurship networking events, business investing, even events that you might not think you could meet a recruiter or hiring manager at, such as an architecture event or an arts event. You can still meet people, employees working at companies. You can meet high-level professionals. And the best thing about this is you'll likely be the only PhD there, which means everybody's going to remember you. You might only know PhDs. You might be surrounded by PhDs right now, whether you're in academia or at a different institution, working in a lab or otherwise. But guess what? You're still very rare. Less than 2% of the population has a doctorate of any kind. Okay, so if you go to events that PhDs are not typically at, there's still high-level events that professionals are hanging out at, business events, entrepreneurship events, etc. You meet people, they're going to be blown away to meet a PhD. And if they hear about a job or they're working for a company or their friend or their partner is working at a company that's in STEM and they hear about a job opening, they're going to think about the one PhD they ever met in their entire life, you, and you're going to be able to build connections that way. This is something very few PhDs do, very few job candidates do. Go to events where you're going to be differentiated, not where you're going to be one in 1,000 PhDs. Hopefully this helps you. If you have any questions, please write them in the comment box below. You can go to phdsgethired.com and get all of our job search materials for free by putting your name and email in the text fields at phdsgethired.com. As always, remember your value as a PhD and start thinking and acting like a successful industry professional.